Ahoy sailors, and welcome back to the NXT Back to the Future podcast. At last, it's been a little while, Adam. My name is David Simmons, and we are going to look at the origins of some of the future Hall of Famers, the ascent from untrained to world champion, or simply independent to undeniable. Going to keep that, Adam.
I do quite like that little mantra, right. Independent to undeniable. It's brilliant.
It's very good. I'm joined as ever by Mr. Adam Howells, and Adam's going to take the floor because we have a bit of news. I'll say we. It's Adam's news, but it's going to affect the podcast going forward, and it's going to affect Adam's. Probably going to affect my life as well. To be fair,
it's not going to affect your life much.
So I think it probably will.
Okay,
but Adam,
this is the news I've been sat on for about 3 weeks, and I've wanted to tell the podcast. However, we've not been able to call. There's been a lot going on in myself and Dave's life, but the biggest thing that's gone in my life is Sonia's pregnant. So we are expecting our first child mid-November. Very excited.
The first podcast baby.
The first podcast baby. It's almost as if The Rock called it himself. Making some rock, baby. Like that, honestly, like, we're over the moon with it. I mean, I don't think any sane couple would plan. Do you know what? It's actually funny because when I was at the range a couple of days ago.
The golf range, this is.
Yes,
not
the golf.
Not the textile shop.
No. Not the place where you buy your cushions and plates and like bed sheets and stuff. But at the golf range, some guy was saying like to his mate, you know, some people are planning like, on purpose to have like a child and get married at the same time. I said, how mental? And I said, like, I was literally mid-drive and I was like, mate, I'm just going to stop you there. No one does that shit on purpose. Like, it's completely like unplanned.
Because Adam is doing it. And if your child ever listens to this podcast as a little wrestling fan growing up, you were not a mistake. I know Adam's just kind of throwing you under the bus there, but you're not a mistake.
Oh no, like we wanted, we just didn't expect it to happen.
Now, the fun thing is for you all at home, you listening. Number one, we're very grateful, but number two, why don't you send us your predictions? We've had WrestleMania predictions. Now we're having Adam and Sonia's baby predictions. Is it going to be a boy or a girl? I'm team girl myself. Send us a weight as well. And come mid-November, we'll see who's the closest.
Also, name suggestions.
Oh.
I'm allowing name suggestions to be sent through to the podcast because do you know what was the front runner for a boy's name for ages and then Sonia now doesn't like it? And I'm really, really upset.
Justin Gabriel House.
No.
Curtis Axel House.
No.
Michael McGillicuddy.
No, even more. It's heartbreaking for me personally.
Parker.
No.
Go on.
Mason.
No.
Yeah.
Break him in half.
Break him in half.
Comes up. Break him in half.
Gonna break her in half. No, like... That was like the favourite name, and then she's gone off it. I'm like, no.
Well,
good.
It's exciting, very exciting times. Very exciting.
The problem is, it's okay because Sonia won't listen to this. She likes all old-timey names.
To be fair though,
they're coming back though, but I don't like. I can't get my head around it. I can't remember what she said the other day.
My dad knows someone. We're just going to have an episode on babies. My dad knows
there will be some wrestling talk at some point. Like, bear with us.
That he used to work with, and they had a baby and they called it Bill. Everyone was like, "Why did you call it Bill?" And she was like, "It's named after my granddad." And I was like, "What a brilliant reason to call a baby Bill in the 21st century." Bill the baby. He sounds older than me. He's like 3 months old. It's phenomenal stuff, really. Mate, don't do what happened to me. I got a different bloody name, so then had to have another birth certificate because my dad decided to change me when I was like 3 days old.
What, change your name?
Yeah.
What were you called?
I was originally called James, and then like my dad came...
so he's James.
Yeah, so I was James in the middle now. But my cousin's also James as well. Yeah, I was James, and... My dad changed it, and I quote, don't you think he looks more like a Dave? Don't know how you can look like a Dave when you're 3 days old, but there you go.
I mean, considering your dad is called Dave...
I mean, he would know.
I mean, like, he would know what a Dave looks like.
He would know. He's very experienced in the Dave rankings. But,
Dave Jr.
Exactly.
So
Sod is unknown, son of Dave.
I mean, you're a sod for many other reasons as well, but there we go.
Sodom.
Sodom.
Pure Sodom. Right, we've only got on some wrestling, Adam.
Probably
but
should
yeah,
talk about wrestling. But
make sure you do tweet us, and if you want, at Main Event Adam, just wish Adam and Sonia all the best.
We'd appreciate it.
Very excited. But actually, Adam, we're going to go all the way back to September the 18th, 2014. At that point, no babies in sight.
No.
And very exciting times because we are just out of NXT TakeOver. It's episode 116 of TV. Can't believe we've watched 117 of these now. And we're at Full Sail University once again. We have a flashback to NXT TakeOver. As a whole event, I think we both rather enjoyed it.
Yeah, I quite liked this takeover. It was brilliant, start to finish. I think there was a good mix of different sort of story, like combination of storylines, different types of matches.
Yeah,
that the stuff that you thought, oh my god, this can go for ages. It didn't. The match lengths were good, so it sort of like kept the show going quite well.
Because at this point as well, takeovers. They don't tend to do the same match twice at takeovers at this present stage. I know we've only had 2, 3, including Arrival, which isn't technically a takeover. But it's exceptional to think, actually, we know that the slate's going to be cleaned going forward. And by the time the next takeover rolls round, which is our Evolution in December, I think, that we're going to have a totally new host of... Well, we'll definitely have some new superstars, but we'll also have some new feuds. So and that's quite exciting to see who's going to get reset. And, also, this is the point where people do start going up to the main roster. So a couple of people are going to be leaving us soon.
Yeah.
So that's also quite exciting.
Yeah, of course. But, that's what made NXT... brilliant in the first place, is that you had that constant rotation of guys, so you're always getting excited about the brand. Yeah.
So at this point, we're never really going to get bored because then no one's. We need to enjoy people while they're here. At this point, speaking of enjoying people whilst they're here, Titus O'Neill opens us up. Yeah, says it all.
Yeah. Why?
Look, mate, I'll tell you why. Because he says he's a real WWE superstar. He's holding this show hostage.
Why?
Osama bin Titus.
Titus World Slide, mate. Titus World Slide.
Look, Adam, this show has now been renamed the NXTITUS Back to the Future podcast. It's the NXTITUS podcast.
He's not holding this hostage, mate.
Oh, yeah, true. Sami Zayn calls him a loser.
I mean, it's not wrong.
Like Homer Simpson. Nerd! And he says he'll fight him. But Neville declares it his job as he's the NXT champion. Alright guys, we can't all have easy nights at work.
Look, Dave, right. You need to give Titus O'Neill the respect he deserves. He was part of the very first episode of NXT.
He was.
And the crowd know it as well, because we do get We Want Darren chants.
God's sake. For God's sake. Interestingly, at this point, Titus O'Neill's sort of doing things, and it's quite comparable to that famous statistic, isn't it? Over 1 Americans every year are killed by blimps, which is the same amount of matches that Titus O'Neill wins every year. He doesn't tend to do much.
No.
However, if there's a Make-A-Wish kid in the front row, it's their lucky day. Regal says, this isn't a whining show, and Tyson Kidd comes out and insults them both. It's not a whining show, it's a fighting show. So tonight, it's going to be tag team action in the main event.
I'll tell you what, Alex Roddy had a brilliant line at the end of this.
He did.
He said, Titus has $1 million body and a 5-cent head. I was like, actually, that is pretty... He's getting pretty good on commentary now.
Yeah, it's great, because there is a point in this where he actually does get back in the ring, and his character is... I'm not going to spoil it, but...
I can't wait.
I'd be so excited. I'd be so excited. Charlotte is out when we come back, and she's facing Emma. Emma has returned to the podcast.
Yay, Emma.
They have a fun back and forth match, as Charlotte does pick up the win, of course, in around 5 minutes. It's a very solid TV match, which shows Emma definitely has something to offer here. She did make the champ look really good.
I found the rolling her over in leg scissors very interesting. Like, just why? Why did this move need to happen?
I think I'm okay with people trying in this scenario.
Yeah.
I'm against people trying on, like, pay-per-views, which is what they've been relegated to. You know, Kelly trying to do a handspring elbow at the Royal Rumble, and you just think, it's not the time, love. it's not the time. I mean, she did get it down pretty good.
Should be, like, rolling when she's just about to attempt that.
Yeah, they've got one video, don't try this at home for the sake of your own neck, and another video, don't try this at home if you're a shit wrestler and you're very unathletic. It's a neck breaker into the natural selection for the win for the champion. Actually, the neck breaker is actually a good way to set up natural selection.
Yeah, it seems to be the way she's done it in the last couple of matches, like with Bayley as well.
Yeah. Also, if you noticed as well, Bow Down to the Queen is now gone, and natural selection, which is very, very, very 1940s Germany, has come in.
Yeah, I didn't notice that, actually. I didn't notice
Bow Down to the Queen, no more.
But natural selection, actually, apart from the German connotations that you were trying to get at, is a very snappy, like, I say snappy. You couldn't get any less snappy than Bow Down to the Queen.
Yeah, she starts to hit it and he goes, Bow Down to the Queen! And they've already counted the 3.
But yeah, I do like the name of this move, to be fair.
Hideo Itami is backstage, awaiting his debut against, of course,
Justin Gabriel.
Say no more.
I have to say, before this match started, though, they did do an advert for Total Bellas. And,
Total Divas, mate, not Total Bellas.
Oh, fucking one of those.
There's a difference.
But I think Natalia was there saying about Summer Rae. Having Summer Rae back is like having sand in your bikini. Just sounds...
Thankfully, I wouldn't know.
I imagine uncomfortable.
Here's a little tip for you, Adam. If you ever go to the beach, okay, take some talcum powder with you. And actually, if you ever want to get the sand off your feet and you've got wet sand on your feet, all you do is pour the talcum powder on your feet and it will suck up the moisture straight away and then you can just wipe them clean, put your shoes on.
There we go. Holiday tips from Dave Simmons.
If you're listening to this abroad, you're welcome. So, yeah, of course, summer is at the heart of the drama. What a surprise.
Just be careful what sort of talcum powder you're on holiday, because it may not be talcum powder.
And if you go to Colombia.
Exactly, right.
Do you know what? Interestingly, Summer Rae has gone from being a massive bitch on this show to being a massive bitch on a different show.
Interesting, that.
Coincidental. She and Natalia, even at the Royal Rumble this year, are just at it all the time. Literally calling each other whores leading up to the Royal Rumble is incredible. Great Twitter.
I mean, they definitely stirred up. Like, as soon as like Summer's music hits and people knew Natalia was in the ring as well, everyone got really excited. So actually, they did their job.
Summer actually ran down the ramp and screamed "fuck you" into the camera as she ran past at Natalia. It was amazing. I mean, give me that over a Team Bad reunion any day of the week.
Oh, yeah. Well, you won't get a Team Bad reunion now anyway. They're fucked off, aren't they?
Well, yeah, true, I suppose. Alex Riley tries to make Justin Gabriel sound interesting, but as soon as the first keys of Itami's theme hits, the entire crowd is on its feet. Amazingly, Funaki, SmackDown's #1 announcer and former Kai and Tai member, who chopped off the penis of Val Venus, that rhymed, is going to help Itami transition from Japan to the United States. That's brilliant news, because Funaki is awesome.
He is brilliant. We love him.
Big kick by Itami to take early control, but Gabriel manages to ground him. Itami fires back with rapid shots, a big kick, followed by another, and a slightly dodgy springboard dropkick, it must be said. Running corner low dropkick and diving foot stomp for the win. He celebrates to the crowd, but the Ascension attack him from behind and leave him laying. They hit the fall of man. And this is continuing.
Looks like, a tag team is going to have a feud with a single person.
Makes a lot of sense.
Does it?
Well, obviously, he's going to have someone to help it.
Ah, but who?
It's going to be The Rock. Spoilers.
No, mate, I'm telling you exactly who's going to be. It's going to be Leo Kruger, mate.
Fucking hell. Mate, maybe it could be this person. There is an advert for a true movie spectacular and a horror icon. Maybe you could team with the Leprechaun.
Oh, For God's sake, not again. Didn't realise they were still advertising that. I think it's been a few weeks since we've watched.
It has, and that gypsy biker movie with Aquaman in has stopped being advertised, so clearly that's gone straight to DVD.
Just like all of Triple H's movies.
Followed the chaperone straight in the bargain bin.
Straight to Netflix.
Fucking get in there.
The problem is you can't even go straight to Netflix now because Netflix is like their own original ones that are actually decent. You have to find like a shitty streaming service to stick it on.
Yeah, someone uploads it to Pornhub. Only place it will fucking actually get views. People click on it by mistake. Adam, there is no Planet B.
There isn't.
Parker has a sign saying NXT Takeover, but it's remade into Earth Makeover. Very good. He's facing the Lone Wolf, a newly minted Baron Corbin, who's driving the ladies wild, and the men aren't too put off either. His music isn't great in this. I like this theme song.
I can't wait to this.
Out of the darkness, under the thunder, bird, and I come to love you.
He's got hair in this as well.
It's like looking at myself at 26. It's hanging in there, but it's not very good.
I don't know. I think. Were you Sam's? You were Sam's best man at 26, weren't you?
Not at 20.
It was about 26.
Maybe, because my mum was still alive. So
I hate to break it to you, your hair hasn't changed since then.
It's got way worse.
What, your hair?
Yeah.
Since
I was 26, way worse.
Looks the same.
Fuck off. I'll find a picture now.
I'm pretty sure it is like very similar.
Nah.
It is now.
Nah. It's way worse now. You
didn't have Baron Corbin-esque like sort of like long bits going down.
It's way worse now. Way worse. Yeah, I didn't have the Baron Corbin bits going down.
As usual, we start a podcast and the debate has to be settled through social media.
Mate, that was 2014.
See, that was
That was November 2014. So that's basically 2015. He's 27 till he's 28. I've got loads of hair in that picture. I actually have like a
reasonable amount of hair.
Yeah.
No, you're doing that one, to be fair.
Yeah.
Sam wasn't getting married then, though. I'm thinking of like when you did the best man speech. I swear you had.
Yeah, that was August 2016. So that was about 18 months later. But look, I actually have like not a lot, but I have hair on the top of my head. Now I have no hair.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's what I mean. Like now I can't. Like I just can't grow. I have the Hulk Hogan now. That's the big issue.
Mate, shave a lot off.
Well,
I genuinely think you should.
Mate,
podcast vote. Should Dave shave his head?
But this
fully bald?
This is the problem, though. I can't. It's tough. I'm like a little Romanian lady outside of Sainsbury's, mate. This is the big issue. It's not good.
I love how you used big issue.
For our American people out there, just Google it.
Google big issue. Anyone British listening, you know exactly the pain.
Anyone who's British listening will at least be having a little chuckle to themselves. Yeah, he has a good look and a very interesting presence as Baron Corbin, and he does stand out compared to many others on this show. And the match is brilliant because it's just an end of days and a pop and a 3.
Yeah. Again, it follows on making him look strong.
Exactly. And just like Sex Before Work, it was quick but enjoyable. There's a recap of Enzo and Cass's hair removal of Marcus Louis.
Forward and Marcus Louis.
And I hit him with the shut up uppercut.
Yeah, how you doing?
Crow hop back.
How you doing?
One hand.
Hey, Enzo, your sister's here, man.
You don't have a sister.
I don't have a sister.
Yeah, you guys have
Carmella!
idiots.
No.
What are you doing
What
here?
am I doing here? I got fired thanks to you guys.
What do we do?
What did you do? You made one of my clients' dogs bald.
Oh, yeah, that was...
Babe, and then this is how you repay me?
Well, sorry, we said we're sorry. Hey, Doge, you want to see what it...
Enzo, shut up.
Well, what are you doing here? What do you want?
I want a job.
Well, we already got a receptionist, so you're
No,
all
I
out of
want
luck.
to be a fighter. I'm here to fight.
You want to be
You
a
wanna
fighter?
fight?
Yeah.
Wait, you think you're tough, Carmel?
Yeah, I'm tough. Okay, you got 5 brothers, and they're all tougher than 2 of you.
Oh, yeah, I've heard that brother story before.
Yeah, you're tough. And if my aunt had hair on her back, she'd be my uncle.
Oh, down goes Zoe!
I'm here to fight, okay? I'll be here
All
tomorrow.
right, Carmella.
You guys are going to help me whether you like it or not.
All right, calm
I'm
down.
gonna
You
be
can't
here
just come in
tomorrow.
here throwing things around willy-nilly. This is where we work. Wow, she's pretty upset, huh? Zoe, you went down like a sack of potatoes, bro.
Don't post that.
Oh, don't worry, I won't. You have my word.
That was rather glorious, wasn't it?
There was a lot of perving going on by Big Cass. Not gonna lie.
They were dating at this point.
I know, but still.
That doesn't make it all right, but they were dating at this point.
I mean, the fact she threw a medicine ball into Enzo's stomach.
Well, he's short, isn't he?
Yeah, true.
She's probably used to throwing things at his cock, so of course it measures up. I think these three, I say magnifique.
They're going to be entertaining.
They are going to be entertaining. It's going to be really entertaining when she actually arrives on the main roster. I'm not sure when she comes.
Dave falling over as he's trying to get the light on.
I can't fall over. I'm already on my ass.
Well, you sort of can't.
But it's it's quite interesting at this point, I feel like, because they're clearly missing, I don't know, something that's going to get them a bigger reaction than they're already getting.
I don't think they can get a bigger reaction than they're getting already, though.
Let's wait and see.
We will see, but honestly, the reactions they're getting are mad. They're getting the biggest reactions on the roster.
Yeah, they are getting the biggest. Yeah, you're right. Actually, they are getting the biggest reactions on the roster. At least the most consistent reactions as well.
Everyone's bought into it, like the crowd have.
Yeah. Speaking of buying into it, Adam, it's main event time. It's a fun opening where the faces try to outdo one another, which is an interesting dynamic. Of course, they've had their troubles, even at TakeOver recently. And Sheamus tells us to be a star. Play the texting game, Adam. Taco stand against booties. Gah, damn you, autocorrect. Take a stand against bullies.
I prefer Taco stand against booties, mate, to be fair.
Absolutely. Titus shows... This is the thing with Titus. He's unbelievably physically gifted. He literally just flings Zayn around.
Yeah.
With minimal effort here.
Yeah.
Before tagging in Kid, who does manage to ground Zayn.
It's almost like he can put all that effort in, but only work 45 seconds at a time. It's incredible, really.
Well, I was going to say, what do you think of Titus O'Neill's portrayal here? And clearly you weren't that impressed.
No, I weren't, to be honest. I think these three are just much better wrestlers, and we've just got a match here with three incredible talents, and Titus O'Neill just happens to be in the vicinity.
I suppose Titus is different though. I mean, he's a legitimate 270, heavyweight. These three are, I don't know, verging on the Shawn Michaels
205.
Well, I wouldn't even say they're 205. Kid's probably
230, 240.
No, Kid's probably legit 190. Zayn at this point is probably 190. And who else is in? Neville. Neville's probably legit 200 max. That's the big thing. A lot of these guys are billed at 220. They're never 220 guys. Never. But yeah, it happens. Neville tags in, and the crowd don't really react to him tagging in. Fast offense for the champion, who does hit a standing moonsault, but Titus breaks it up. He's removed from the ring by Zayn, though, as the referee clears Zayn, and Titus shoves Neville off the top rope into the knees of Kid, who grabs the pinfall victory. The faces argue again as we go off air. What did you think of that? I mean, obviously they're trying to, I don't know, continue the feud between Kid and Zayn and Neville, but it's the crowd didn't seem to be massively into it.
I just think at the moment they're trying to get the dynamic over that even the faces can't get on because it's just all about that title. And now that Neville never screwed Zayn over for the title, he won it legitimately, but it was a bit, it's not the face way of doing things.
Yeah.
So because of that, they're trying to just get to the point where they're going to pit everyone against each other, and it's just going to be those main eventers going after the title from Neville, and which one can sort of, get the opportunity and get the pin first now. Yeah. So even Sami's he's at the point where he's probably thought, I deserve to be the title holder now. Yeah.
Yeah. I suppose they just need to win the crowd back round, don't they? But if anyone can do it, it's these two.
I don't think they need to win the crowd back round. These are the two best wrestlers and on the roster, and their story is probably the most.
It's certainly the longest term story.
Yeah.
This is like one of the
one where they've got the crowd are probably the most invested in.
Well, that as well, but it's the at this point as well, NXT does start to get a reputation for really long term storytelling, and this is the first real one that they try it with.
Yeah.
And I think, obviously, at this point, you are going to make mistakes because it's a delicate tightrope to walk, telling a long story in wrestling, especially nowadays, because the audience is so conditioned to wanting things there and then. Things get out too quickly, and then people expect it and they want it and they want it and they want it. And it's difficult to tell a story in that way. And NXT, sort of has to be credited with the fact that they do try and do that an awful lot.
Yeah.
And the way they do it in the future is, is better than this, but the payoff of what's coming to this is really good.
Oh, of course it is. Of course it will be.
So it's the next week, September the 25th, 2014, episode 117, once again at Full Sail University. There'll be one day where we are not at Full Sail University, and we will all rejoice. Mojo is out, followed...
You cry. I'll be very sad when we eventually leave Full Sail.
Yeah, but only be brief. Mojo comes out first, and he's followed by Bull, but fuck yeah, they start fighting on the ramp. Come on, the boys! I like stuff like this. Two big lads with the aggression dialed up. It's a rematch from TakeOver Adam, as Bull simply runs over Mojo, and it's a diving headbutt for another quick win. Bull is being booked really strongly, and he does leave straight away.
I've got here, Bull is giving me Taz vibes. Mainly because of the ring gear.
He was trained by Taz.
That's probably it. It's probably... I do like starts to...
That's not Taz! The man next to me, he's Peter Sonercha! You don't remember that promo, do you?
No, I don't at all.
It's like, basically, Taz breaks his neck in, really early days of ECW, and then does commentary for, months while he recovers. And they never show him on camera. And then when he's healthy again, Joey Styles is like, the man who's just called this match with me, he is no normal man. I refer to him as Peter Sonercha, but you may know him as Taz. And then Taz is on camera. Survive if I let you. And then fucking absolutely nails him. But he doesn't do commentary from others. He does commentary on the one match. But yeah, it's Peter Sonercha.
Beautiful. I like starts to tapings like this, where it's not just someone coming down to the ring, cutting a promo, and you have because Raw do that all the time.
Oh, mate, at least you weren't watching when Triple H used to do it every fucking week. 20 minutes. Well, I think that I am the game. Oh, alright, mate. Fucking hell.
We heard this last week, mate.
Literally,
Come on.
Randy Orton, you beat me, but at the pay-per-view in 2 weeks, you're gonna lose. And then, literally, that was it. He'd sort of be champion for ages, and then someone would beat him, and then a month later, he would win it back. And then it was, oh my God. The worst. What I will say, though, is that, let's face it, we have got a man here. Bull Dempsey is clearly unbelievable, because look at the talent he's surrounded by. He's surrounded by Taz, and he's also surrounded by Hook, because Taz trained Hook and Bull Dempsey. And I mean, really, he's trained the two greatest wrestlers of all time. So
I think you should shut the fuck up right there.
Mate, Bull Dempsey is like an American Mitsuharu Misawa. He's just an absolute monster.
That's what I could call my child. Hook. Send Hook.
Hook howls!
Hook howls.
Hook howls. Mate, you should absolutely call him Hook.
Absolutely no
That'd be
way.
incredible.
Oh,
call him Bull.
God. Son said... I know we've gone back onto baby names. Do you know what the names she suggested the other day?
Bull. Bull howls.
No, it weren't Bull. It weren't a wrestling name. It was Iris. I just thought...
Call it Delilah.
We're not having a 90-year-old...
Call it Delilah. And then you could be like, hey there, Delilah, I may think that you look pretty. Every morning when she wakes up. You can just look at her.
Oh, what's the one? Where's that? Where are you? Because fucking Lauren.
Yeah, that'd be in the supermarket if you lose her and Sonia, and then you go, where are you? and I'm so sorry. I cannot eat, I cannot sleep tonight. Like, indecision to call you. You can literally have Halloween on Christmas. It would be amazing.
Who did that song?
Blink-182.
That's it. What am I thinking now? I'm thinking
It would be great, mate. And then
Buller has been saying that a lot actually recently.
And then if she Hasbulla House, perfect. Hasbulla House. That'd be a great name. From now on, we'll call it Baby Hasbulla. No. Yes, Baby Hasbulla until it's born.
Do you know what's a lot of responsibility picking a name? Naming, like, you know,
you
naming
would think,
a dog,
you would think so,
easy.
But some people
naming
don't.
a human, just, you know, just different rules, mate.
Yeah, but the issue is some people don't consider it a big deal and they just call their kid fucking anything.
I don't know, like Chardonnay or fucking some bollocks like that. If you're called Chardonnay and you're listening to the podcast, you're probably not listening to the podcast if you're called Chardonnay. Is that the dog?
It is the dog. Well, I hope it's not Sonia. We get an advert with The Rock narrating. I quite liked this. The little advert with The Rock. And then there, as you say, a Baron Corbin promo. He basically says he's a totally different breed, and his breed will destroy our breed. He's basically COVID-19.
Yeah. Baron 19.
Corbin-19.
Something like that. I liked it though.
Yeah, I liked it as well. It was effective.
Getting to know a little bit more about this character day by day.
Don't worry, because they don't end up fucking stop talking about it at one point. Now, Adam, this is massive news. Tyler Breeze has a new seasonal residence.
I didn't notice that.
Yes, he has a new seasonal residence.
Oh my God, where is it?
He's currently residing in Helsinki, Finland. And if you're wondering, the weather in Helsinki in September is 15 degrees sort of at its highest and around 9 degrees average on the lowest. They have an average of 9 days of rain in the month of September, clearly ready to not punish his skin too much with the rays of the sun.
He obviously needs a break from, you know, Santorini,
Greece. Beautiful.
Mate.
Beautiful. And, of course, he's facing Justin Gabriel.
Of course.
Do you know what? There's going to be a day where Justin Gabriel stops appearing on this podcast, and I'm more conflicted if I will simply not notice or not care.
It's going to be a bit of column A and a bit of column B.
It's going to be a massive amount of column A and a massive amount of column B.
He's going to be there literally just to push over talent. He's never going to get over himself.
I wonder how long he's in the company for at this point. Because I am, if I'm frank, ready for someone else. He always does alright, but he's just not interesting, is he?
No.
Gabriel weirdly dominates most of the match, but he does eat a supermodel kick and a beauty shot, and it's a quick 3. For the most gorgeous piece of gorgeousness in NXT.
You can get away with that sort of match with Tyler because you know like he can hit his finisher from nowhere.
Yeah.
You can just get away with it.
And it just gets it over.
Yeah.
And he does deliver a bloody nice super kick.
He does it lovely, doesn't he?
He really does.
Does it lovely? It's not a great way of describing something. Does it lovely?
Does it lovely. And he also likes Yorkshire tea.
I like Yorkshire tea.
You like tea in general, don't you? You're a bit of a tea drinker.
Right. I drink far too much tea.
See, tea and coffee and none of that for me. Probably why I'm always tired.
Do you know what? Honestly, I could easily go for about 6 cups a day. And I know that's not good for you.
Oh, no.
Probably not.
It's not good for you, is it? Natalya secretly asks William Regal to give Tyson Kidd one more chance. Regal reluctantly agrees, and we end up with a stipulation that if Kidd loses next week, he never faces Adrian Neville again. We get a Kid Rock laden advert for the WWE 2K5 video game. Ball with the ball, the bang, diggy, diggy, the boogie.
2K15.
2K5, 2K15, yeah, it's all the same thing. But yeah, you're absolutely right.
Did you ever play this game?
2K15?
Yeah.
I didn't, to be honest, I haven't been a big, I think the last one I had was 2K13, and I think I bought it when it was on sale.
He's just not, I thought you would be into those sort of games.
Did you really?
Yeah, I don't know why.
Yeah, never. I've started just playing Apex again, though.
Apex is great.
But I'm playing it on PC, because on console, I played it on your console the other day, and I was like, this is horrendous.
Yeah, fair enough.
But I'm very much greatly enjoying it on my computer, which instead of playing in 60 frames per second around here, I can play in 240 frames at my own house.
Ew.
I know, it makes it a lot better, I can't lie.
Well, yeah, I'm sure it's a lot smoother.
Tell you what, it'll be smooth as your newborn's bottom.
Currently still being formed. Not quite ready to come out of the oven yet.
What size is the baby at the moment?
What, in fruit?
When anything.
Well, that's the one we've been going off. I think at the moment it's an avocado.
Oh. And interestingly, that'll give you a bit of an insight onto the gender, because obviously, if it is an avocado, it's got nuts.
There we are.
So, there you go. If you're team boy, you already might be ahead here.
No, that's just how they do the sizing.
Alexa Bliss is here, and she's got new music. Features a small snippet intro from her most known theme music.
Yes, it does.
Bayley comes out with a reaction Hulk Hogan would be proud of.
We do have wacky inflatable people and the warrior stuff on... I say warrior stuff on our arms, like whatever they're called.
Oh, there is a bloody word, isn't there? Oh, well done, Adam.
It's got like ribbons or something like on our arms. Everyone knows what
tassels.
I'm on about. Tassels. There we are.
Tassels. For ribbons. Ribbons? Jesus Lord. Tassels. Alexa does smile at her. How nice. But Bayley takes control. Alexa's shown improvement again this week.
Yeah, she's definitely getting better week to week.
She is genuinely getting better week to week.
Actually trying to make it look like a legitimate fight rather than going from sequence to sequence, which, helps.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, she is showing improvement, but she can't pick up the win over NXT's resident hugger. Lovely little moment where they high-five each other. Bayley is impressed with Alexa's improvement.
Are you sure it was a high-five? Was it Big Tens?
Might be Big Tens. They do a great job on commentary too, putting over Bayley having a short memory and putting TakeOver behind her. Bayley to belly, and she scores a 3 to a big reaction. Bayley grabs the mic after, of course, checking on Alexa. Bayley says that she let herself down and she lost in front of her mother at TakeOver. Charlotte says that she's earned her respect and she would be honoured to face her again. And it's on. Exciting times. The rematch is on, Adam. Can she do it?
Is Charlotte a face?
She's kind of like turning.
Is she like a tweener?
Yeah, kind of. She is turning more towards the face side at the moment.
Ooh, interesting.
But I think that's probably a good idea because what it would do is, again, help Bayley to get over.
Yeah. Because it sort of shows that, Charlotte respects her as a competitor.
Definitely.
So actually, they can have these, the repeat of the match, and it's, legitimate.
Yeah. Who do you reckon's going to win the rematch?
I do not know. I've not seen it. I would...
But that's not what I asked.
It's not what you asked. I'd hazard a guess that Charlotte retains.
That was incredibly political there, Adam.
Always political, mate.
We're here at the Performance Center.
Get in there. Yo, what's up with the camera, bro? All of a sudden you Spielberg? I don't get it. Listen, Carmella, I mean to ask you, why in the world would you tell people you're my sister?
Hello, I was just trying to get in the building.
Okay, I can appreciate that. Of all people, I can appreciate something like that, but it could make things awkward for us in the future.
In your dreams, Enzo, please.
Maybe in your dreams.
Hello? Where is the ring? Where's the ring, Enzo? I want to get in the train. I want to knock these chicks out. Come on.
Carmella, you ain't getting in the ring.
Why not?
First, you gotta get in shape.
Get in shape?
Well, I mean, you're not exactly built like a pear, but you're a hairdresser. You're a hairdresser, huh? Not exactly diva, huh?
Not diva, huh? Okay.
You can't be talking like that to women, bro. It's not how to go about things.
Tell me how to talk to women, bro. I know everything there is to know about women.
Oh, yeah? Why have you never had a girlfriend before?
Because I refuse to commit myself to failure. I know what I'm doing, bro. You treat them like dirt, and they stick like mud.
Is this hot enough for you?
Yeah, that's all right.
Holy jeez, do we got something over here? How you doing? Oh, yeah. Way to get flexible back there. It's a good stretch. Oh.
You're such an idiot.
I'm a G.
Dude, look at you. You just embarrassed yourself. Smooth move, bro.
Don't post that video, bro.
Oh, don't worry. I won't.
I love these promos. They are really good at getting Carmella into this double act, and she's definitely holding up her end of the bargain.
Yeah, she's definitely feels part of this group properly now.
And when she debuts, I think it's going to be interesting to see the reaction that she garners.
Yeah. I would also like to say I would probably also fall off the treadmill like Enzo did in this segment.
Marcus Louis is here for action, complete with a head guard with a wig on. He looks... Adam, why don't you take this one?
It's like the collegiate wrestling... I'm not saying helmet, it's not helmet, it's fucking like headgear. But then he's using it just for the sole purpose of sticking something on the top of his head.
Kurt Angle did this when he lost his hair against Edge.
Did he?
Yeah, the exact same thing.
Okay.
Enzo Amore promo here. Sorry, Adam. They've all got to go in. He's too good. Safe to say, Louis isn't too happy because he absolutely smacks the shit out of Enzo to open. Apparently Enzo pays $500 a month for that haircut.
It's far too much.
I reckon
I'll do it for half the price.
I reckon you'd look good with leopard print dyed into the sides of your hair.
I don't think so. There's someone who could probably do it, actually, but no. Not for me.
Modest.
Not for me.
I don't think so. Enzo takes a nasty spill outside and Marcus is in complete control. He tries to find his feet and gets on the apron and slingshots him onto the ropes and pulls off his hairpiece. Marcus freaks out as Enzo rolls him up for a 3 count. LaForte enters the ring and does try to calm him down as we see replays, but Marcus Louis is apoplectic on the mat. Short, but again, effective. I can see these two being written off soon.
I hope it finishes the story so they can move on to something else now.
Yeah, I think
we've done enough of this shtick, and I think this is like the perfect way of ending it.
I just don't know where these two go. I actually think they're going to get written off.
What, Marcus Louis and...
Yeah, what else can you do with them? I just feel like they're just going to both get written off.
It could be a jobber tag team, I guess.
I guess. Backstage, Tyson says he didn't need his wife to do him any favours. She has a big heart, but he didn't need her. It's his last chance to win the title, and Neville has lost 2 matches this calendar year, both to Tyson Kidd. He says that we are looking at the new NXT champion. I mean, it'd be interesting if he did win.
I mean, you know, he does make a good point at Neville. Neville has only lost 2 matches this year, but he's the guy who's pinned him both times.
Yeah, I thought that was an interesting fact as well.
That is a very good fact.
Yeah. Tyson Kidd's an expert in facts. So.
He is. Great fact. We also get an advert for ECW On Demand. What an amazing promotion this was.
Mate, seriously, that'd be... we'll have to watch that as well, because you're not Monday Night Wars
Breaking the law
aficionado.
No, I'm thinking CCW.
Breaking the law once again. Prepare for war. Fucking CCW, an eye for an eye, to live is to die, staying alive. CCW. The blood to fight. You're breaking, your bones are breaking. Yeah. Now's tonight we all stand by when they on the body of mankind. Laying the law, living the law, ready to break the law. Laying the law once again. Prepare for war. Fucking CCW.
Mate, that's a great song.
Your head is so red right now.
Oh, of course it is.
So red.
I was giving it my all, mate. Giving it my all.
You need to sing the ECW now.
Hey?
You need to sing the ECW one now.
Well, at the start it goes... And then they have like an instrumental one, which is like... Boo-noo, boo, boo-noo-noo, boo-noo, boo-noo-noo.
Who was your favourite ECW wrestler?
Rob Van Dam.
Yeah.
Goes without saying. Yeah. Rob Van Dam was great. They had loads of great talent in ECW.
Yeah, they did.
They had the FBI. The FBI were great. The BWO, the Blue World Order.
We're
taking over!
Dudleys were there.
Do you know what, actually? I said Rob Van Dam too quick, because actually I did love Raven.
Yes, Raven was also
I
very
did
good.
love Raven.
Tommy Dreamer was also very good.
The Innovator of Violence. Or as Lita christened him, the Innovator of Silence.
Really?
Did you know Tommy Dreamer, at WrestleMania 17, after ECW went out of business, he literally said...
Yeah, I know, we've had this conversation
that
before.
he was going to... That he'd bought a gun and he was going to buy a ticket on the front row, and then he was going to fucking shoot Heyman and then shoot himself on the pay-per-view feed.
Bit extreme.
Well, to be fair...
Stop it.
Lay in the law! But yeah, it's that would have ruined, or at least put a dampener on that show. I mean, it's a bloody good show, but I think 2 people dying on it might have been a bit far. But yeah, it didn't happen, of course, and it's gone down as one of the greatest pay-per-views of all time. So, bonus.
There we are.
But yeah, there's lots of good people in.
Taz was in ECW.
It's Taz. The Dudleys as well.
Yeah, I said the Dudleys.
The Dudleys.
Sandman.
The whole Dudley family, though. Before we got onto the Sandman,
Yeah, like Spike Dudley as well.
Spike. You had Big Dick Dudley, Sign Guy Dudley,
Yeah, sign guy.
and Joel Gertner. Joel Gertner was amazing. You ever seen Joel Gertner?
Who was the manager of Sabu and
That was Bill Alfonso.
That's it.
But mate, have you ever heard of Joel Gertner? Joel Gertner was incredible. He used to manage the Dudleys. He actually said one time on a show.
Is this for Heatwave by any chance?
No, it was a different show.
Okay.
Men are from Mars. Women are from Venus. But when they all come to Earth, they like to ride my penis. Joel Gertner was brilliant. He was so good. Joel Gertner was hilarious.
You could get away with that sort of stuff in the 90s.
Bill Alfonso, yeah. Fonzie. Fonzie was the guy that was basically leaking everyone's numbers in ECW to Eric Bischoff so that Bischoff could sign them all.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was Fonzie. And then he got found out and he was like, oh, I'm really sorry. And then he ended up having to have, like, they basically put him on the card and they were like, you fucking gonna kill yourself in this match. Bear in mind, he's like an untrained wrestler. And they were like, you're gonna kill yourself in this match to have, like, you know, to show us that you want to stay. And it was him versus, like, Beulah McGillicuddy, which is, like, Tommy Dreamer's wife. And she, like, busted him open. He fucking bled everywhere. It was, like, a 20-minute match. It was absolutely mental. She, like, body slammed him. Fucking, he was, like, bleeding like a stuffed pig. And then, like, they sort of, like, forgave him after that. But that was the reason that, like, Sandman and Raven and everyone sort of went to WCW, because he opened the door for them.
Fuck's sake.
Absolute nightmare. And then he ended up staying. But, yeah, very strange scenario.
Sounds it.
But lots of, mate, we'll have to go back and do ECW. This was nearly an ECW podcast.
It nearly
wasn't
was, yeah.
There was a few different ideas we had for this podcast. At first, we were going to do Progress Wrestling, and then
they all turned out to be nonsense. So we couldn't really do that.
Yeah,
Probably not the most political way of putting that, but yeah,
yeah.
There's a lot of that stuff going around.
So that wouldn't have been good.
No.
Yeah, and then we nearly settled on ECW. I don't know why we settled on NXT, but we nearly settled on ECW.
I think because of the catalogue and the quality of wrestler that came through, and actually the development of the original NXT to what it is in our timeline now, what it becomes in the future.
On the plus side,
really
though,
interesting journey.
On the plus side, though, and nobody bloody copy us either. But we, I suppose if we, I say rebrand, but we could actually just, you know, depending on what we looked at, we could just change the company at the beginning, couldn't we? So it's not a massive deal. We could easily just say ECW Back to the Future podcast, and there we are. But yeah, I don't know.
I don't think that makes as much sense. I realise we're having a debate about podcast names, but still, like, right in the middle of a podcast.
You've got enough worrying about names to do. Leave this to
me. Yeah, true.
Sami Zayn is backstage in a WWE.com exclusive. Not really an exclusive because it's on the network. He says he's not bothered about Tyson Kidd's title match, and it's a pitiful reason that his wife had to beg for a chance for him. Being desperate makes him dangerous, though, but he says Neville's desperate too, and the way that he retained at TakeOver shows that. He's coming one way or another.
It's basically showing his, like, cards there.
Yeah.
He's pissed off. He knows that, like, you know, he knows that Neville has been desperate to keep his title, hence why he won the way he did.
Yeah.
And he's sore about it, and of course he's going to be sore because it's taken his opportunity away from him.
Exactly. The Lucha Dragons are out. How do the titles look on the Lucha Dragons, Adam?
Amazing.
They look good, don't they? I like their little dual pose. We should do that for Halloween. Oh, we should be the Lucha Dragons for Halloween.
Lucha. I'll be El Local, mate.
Although, to be fair, as we discussed earlier, when you'll be having Halloween on December the 25th, so it might not work. No. Won't make any sense.
Halloween and Christmas.
The entrance feels massively improved, even just from that. Like, from TakeOver the other day. It's crazy how it kind of just makes more sense. They look like a team.
Yeah, like properly introduced as the Lucha Dragons as well.
Yes.
Makes all the difference.
Yes.
Crazy reception, though, for the Ascension.
Yeah, speaking of great entrances, here come the Ascension.
Yeah, boys are here, mate. See what I did there? See? Because people keep shouting, yeah.
Mate, they might not be here for too much longer.
No.
Might not be here for too much longer. The entrance for the Ascension does feel like a main roster entrance. It does feel quite good. Early on, the Ascension control the pace, as you'd imagine, but Sin Cara manages some lucha on Connor, of all people. He might be the world's biggest luchador. Doesn't last long, though, as it's a double shoulder block on Kalisto. Heavyweight wrestling.
Proper big boy wrestling, mate.
Do you know what? They should get Vikingo.
Vikingo?
Have you seen Vikingo?
No.
Vikingo is awesome. He's so good.
Is he?
Yeah. He's amazing. I don't think he'd work outside of Mexico, though. Weirdly, Vikingo versus Cesaro would be an awesome match. I'd love to see that.
You have a lot of those like Dream Independent matches, don't you?
Weird matches.
Yeah.
But yeah, Vikingo and Cesaro, if that ever happened, I don't think it ever will. I don't think Vikingo really does much outside of Mexico. But if he did, bring it on.
I mean, back to this match, like, you know, some of the tag team work and teamwork between the Lucha Dragons is flawless. Matt Bloom says it's like watching a video game, which is probably like, you know, one of the highest sorts of praise you can give to this sort of style.
Yeah, I guess
it looks like it looks
so
so
smooth.
outrageous and smooth.
Yeah,
that
and
only,
the
like,
problem
a
is
game
with
could
lucha,
do.
it can go the other way, can't it? As well, it can go the other way. It can look very, you know,
crap very quickly.
it can look very crap very quickly.
There's a very fine line with that sort of style of wrestling,
for sure,
and they hit it perfectly.
Yeah. I was going to ask you if you were a fan of the Lucha Dragons, but we've sort of said that you are.
I do like them.
Victor does such a great job of making them look very strong here. They sell their offense as equals, and even though the size difference is there, they do a good job at putting over how difficult they are to keep down on the floor. A tag is desperately needed as Kalisto gets grounded, almost to a halt, in a good 5 minutes, and it's incredibly close to the end of the show. I don't know if you noticed this, but there was still no hot tag, and it's actually the hot tag's actually made with 1 minute 38 seconds left of the whole show.
Did not notice that,
which is really weird. So saying that, no time is wasted by Sin Cara, who does go off very quickly, but Victor does throw both luchadors to the outside. The music of Hideo Itami plays and distracts the Ascension, causing Kalisto to run in, hit the Salita del Sol from behind on Victor, and score the win. On the stage, Connor goes to attack Itami, but Itami absolutely leathers the shit out of him, and Victor's down in the ring as we go off air. An interesting finish. Clearly, it's going to end up with Itami writing them off TV.
Yeah.
And then they go to the main roster. That's clearly going to happen.
Yeah. Which I haven't really got a problem with, because like they want to get Itami over big time. This is how you get him over.
Yeah.
Beating a team by himself that has been absolutely dominant on this brand, apart from the tag team, you know.
Yeah.
Of the Lucha Dragons.
Yeah. So there we go. I mean, it's quite interesting. Yeah. Overall, it was an interesting 2 shows. I feel like when I looked at obviously what was coming up, I wasn't as excited as I thought I would be. I thought we were going to get new feuds and a couple of people would. But that doesn't seem to be happening over the next 2 shows. But these 2 shows were enjoyable.
Development, really, isn't it?
Yeah. These 2 shows were enjoyable, though, especially for what they were. And it solidifies the Lucha Dragons going forward. We're going to see something different from Itami, hopefully. But yeah.
Who's your star of the show? Or star of the tapings?
Here's a tough one. I feel like a lot of this was built around Enzo and Cass, but I don't feel like Enzo and Cass were on the show enough to warrant them being stars of the show, if that makes sense.
They must have done they've done noteworthy stuff enough in this, because you know they're barely only 2 people who have promos in this whole 2 episodes, which is really weird.
Yeah.
Usually there's about 4 or 5 good ones in there, but this week you've obviously only felt the need to put 2 in, which is good, you know.
3.
3.
There's 3 promos.
Alright, 2 or 3. But
that was the number Adam gave me. I have to stick to 3 promos maximum.
because otherwise, literally, you could stick like hundreds in, and it just becomes an absolute ball ache to edit.
See, and I've been good. I've behaved.
You have been very good, but yeah, they had 2 of the promos.
I'm probably going to give it to Bayley. I liked Bayley's promo. Her reaction was good. Her match was good, and they set up a match going forward that I think is going to make a lot of sense. And to be honest, Zayn and Neville just didn't capture me on the show.
No, I am going to go with none of those suggestions.
Okay,
I'm going to go with Baron Corbin. Looks strong again in his second match.
And he takes a lot of influence from the Big Boss Man, so it's okay with me.
Yeah.
My daddy!
And then his promo was good for him as well. He just looks like an interesting character.
He does look like an interesting character. What happened?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen that amazing feud between the Big Show and the Big Boss Man?
No.
Where Big Show's dad dies in the story, and then the Big Boss Man basically just torments him for his dad dying. It's absolutely incredible.
No.
He reads his poem, and it's like, thoughts and prayers and deepest regrets. I'm sorry your daddy's dead. It's absolutely ridiculous. And he invades his dad's funeral as well, and like drives off with his dad's coffin like towed to the back of his car, and the Big Show like runs after it and jumps on his dad's coffin. It's honestly, I'll show you in a minute when we go off air, but it is hilarious.
What have we got next week? I say next week, next episode. Don't have to start saying.
Look, don't jump forward, mate. Who's your star of the show?
I told you.
Who was it?
Baron Corbin.
Oh yeah, Baron
And then you
Corbin.
went into a big story about the Big Boss Man for some reason, and the Big Show.
Because the Big Boss Man influence in Baron Corbin is massive.
Okay.
He does a lot of the Big Boss Man's moves. Going under the rope and around the post and back in clothesline, that's the Big Boss Man.
Fucking sick of seeing that on main roster TV.
How dare you, sir? That is the Big Boss Man. You respect him.
Okay.
Respect the law down in Cobb County, Georgia.
Okay.
He was hanged at WrestleMania 14.
No, I'm well aware.
Yeah, you pay respects to that man. And then he came back and he was still alive, and then he died after. But you can find us on social media at NXTBTTF.
Yeah, tweet us, interact with us. We've missed you all.
Do all of that stuff. And if you have any funny stories about the Big Boss Man, definitely tweet us. You can leave us a review, tweet us, interact with us on the social medias. We would love to hear from you. All our social medias are available in our link tree, which is at the top of our Twitter account. So we'd really appreciate it if you could give us some support on there. If you could also leave us a little review anywhere, especially iTunes, that would be great. Just helps differentiate us from all the other wrestling podcasts that are out there. The many, many, many wrestling podcasts. You can join us next week for Championship Week. In the first episode, Charlotte Flair and Neville defend their championships against Bayley and
Tyson Kidd.
Thank you, I forgot. As well as Itami still targeting the Ascension. Enzo and Cass continue to train Carmella, who finally gets a bit of in-ring action. Ty Dillinger and Jason Jordan reunite after injury. Sasha Banks shocks the world. Tyler Breeze is back in action. Carmella gets the chance to impress Mr. Regal. Sami Zayn defends the honour of the brand against the main roster foe. Guess who?
Titus O'Neill.
It is.
Oh.
Becky and Sasha tangle and so much more. But for now, from me, Dave.
And me, Adam.
And the baby.
There we go.
We'll see you later.
Bye.